Hey guys, welcome to the news! News! Sniper Wolf has had a pretty bad 2023, if I do say so myself. Look at these headlines. It's rare that a creator makes headlines for such a long period of time. There is a lot of things that have gone bad for Sniper Wolf. I didn't know I could make that sound. Sniper Wolf. She's going through a divorce. She's been demonetized by YouTube temporarily. So it's like a little carrot on the end of a stick thing, you know, but still demonetized. That's pretty bad. She's been ostracized by the creator community largely as a whole after the whole Jax Films incident, which also resulted in her being demonetized temporarily. So bad year. Oh, on top of that, guys, she scratched her butt and then sniffed it on camera. Have you seen those videos of people doing that? Man, that's all I see on Instagram Reels. I scroll, I see that. I need to log off for a while. And so do you freak. And here in the last weeks of the year 2023, it seems like things are just getting worse for our sweet princess of YouTube. All right, she is beautiful. I'll say it. In a previous video, I talked a bit about her court proceedings and lawsuits that are currently going through and ongoing with her soon-to-be ex-husband, Evan Sausage Young, the man who actually built the Sniper Wolf empire. That's right. He was the guy playing the games. She was the girl reading the script. Getting those simps and incel views, fellas, back in the olden times of YouTube. And thanks to a fellow YouTuber and genius on YouTube, the Mad Catster, a real-life lawyer who also investigates YouTuber drama. He goes in depth on court documents for his YouTube channel. A lot more has come to light on these situations, and it is really bad. And Sniper Wolf, it could not get any worse for her at this point. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Knock on wood. She's not that nice. She probably wouldn't knock on any wood for me. I almost said my wood, but Sniper Wolf is a clown, and her lawyers are also massive clowns. So thank you to Mad Catster for emailing and providing these court documents, because honestly, I don't have my ear on the ground when it comes to Arizona State court documents involving Sniper Wolf. This beautiful man has allowed us to cover this situation that is incredibly complex in a more simple way. We've spearheaded it, thanks to Mad Catster. So go check his channel out, watch his videos. He's way better than I am. To briefly bring you all up to speed on where we are. What are they in court for? I forgot. Good for you, by the way. Here's a brief breakdown. Evan Young, the silent partner in the Red Channel LLC media partnership that is Evan and Elias Shalesh, aka Sausage Boy and aka Sniper Wolf. They're each a half to the whole. This massive tens of millions of subscriber empire worth tens of millions of dollars, honestly. Earlier this year, Evan filed lawsuits against Elias seeking to take essentially one half of the empire that we mentioned. Here's a clip from a previous Oompaville video. Seems like stuff is kind of kicked into second gear ever since we found out about the lawsuit and divorce between Sniper Wolf and Evan, aka Sausage Boy. Evan, aka Sausage, is suing Sniper Wolf, aka Aaliyah, I don't know what her name is, for essentially one half of her empire. Now, there are several reasons by which we believe Evan has ground to stand on in his lawsuit, claiming he owns half the empire. He is one of the two officers of Red Channel LLC, the corporation that owns the Sniper Wolf channel, or company, rather, not corporation, technically. Aaliyah, Sniper Wolf, is the other half of this ownership. Evan claims to have done all of the work behind the scenes for years, including building out the main channel and her second channel, Little Leah, basically playing games or organizing stuff in a way where she just has to go and read a script, and that's it. She's like completely mindless, and she makes millions and billions of dollars, and it's honestly, you go, girl. I mean, shit, if Shania Twain didn't raise her right, I don't know who the did. You all remember when this was posted on the Sniper Wolf channel that we all so closely follow and watch and consume everything that comes out of it?
Hello everyone, Evan Sausage here. I have an announcement to make. I am the creator of Sniper Wolf, as well as Mr. Sausage Boy and Little Leah.
I believe that. In the parentheses, it's hard to believe that he created Sniper Wolf, but Mr. Sausage Boy, I can see that.
I made this channel as part of my project almost 10 years ago. I flew across the country to be with Leah and work on this channel. We got married and we're supposed to be, partners in business and partners in life, with no one but ourselves knowing the truth about what we do. Due to differences, we cannot seem to reconcile. I have filed for divorce. For the meantime, there will be no uploads for a bit while we try to work things out.
Now, there were immediately after uploads. Okay, guys? Immediately after there were uploads. There haven't been uploads recently because the channel doesn't have ads on it. And they're not making money, so that's all they care about. That's really actually all they care about. And you know what? Quite frankly, I understand it because today's episode is sponsored by Sour Boys. I don't even know if I have to say that. I own the company. I don't even give a shit. All right, come at me, FTC. Okay, come at me, FDA. Come at me, brother. Come on, YouTube. Go to sour.gg and buy our delicious new rainbow Sour Boys. They're not new. Well, these ones that we're selling, they are new. The flavor is not new. It's a funny little mix of strawberry, green apple, blue raspberry, and mango. It's delicious. We make it in our own warehouse. It doesn't have very many ingredients. It's 100% fulfilled, shipped, made by us. It's cool. Also, we have, I think, a new flavor. Now, if it's out, this will be in that ad, or if not, you'll just see a lot of blurs and weird sounds. Our first, it's delicious. Go to sour.gg and buy some candy today before we're sold out, because it doesn't fucking last long. All right. And if you give us your email in the beginning, you get an email with like a code off or some shit like that. And if you buy 10 bags, you get free shipping to the continental United States. Evan, like we mentioned before, also continues to say that he did everything behind the scenes of the Sniper Wolf content. You can see this court doc thing, whatever this is called, specifically this part. While Shalesh was the face of the Sniper Wolf YouTube channel, Young is and was at all times heavily involved in the creative content and operations of the Sniper Wolf YouTube channel, including but not limited to concept origination and development. What do you mean? Just ripping everyone off all at the same time? My instinct is to like this guy because he's suing Sniper Wolf, but if that's his claim to fame, that's f***ing embarrassing. Just so you guys know, we could run the Sniper Wolf channel with like 3 hours of work a week, legitimately. Actually, that is very little work. Also, the balls to write market research and analysis for the Sniper Wolf channel? Are you f***ing my... Because that's what it sounds like you're doing right now. I hear a loud farting, slurping sound. He also says in this document that he filmed gameplay for Aaliyah to take credit for later, as if she was playing and gaming to get those simp views. Those delicious simp and incel views. Another reason Evan is suing her is because in spite of their personal relationship being ended, they're still business partners and there's good faith clauses. If you're business partners with someone, you cannot sabotage the business that you're both involved in. It's not how it works. You can sue over that. Aaliyah was intentionally harming their shared business, Red Channel LLC, by posting content that was meant for the Sniper Wolf channel on different channels that Evan had no ownership of and could get no revenue for. So that's technically harm, I assume. Shalesh unilaterally created the YouTube channels Sniper Wolf Top Videos and Sniper Wolf Espanol. That is insane. Those channels have 100 million views and $1.2 million in revenue over a year? What the fuck? Shit, bud. My God. Fucking God, I'm jealous. I'm making an Oompaville's Top Videos soon. So Evan's not suing Aaliyah over just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 things. He's suing her over 7 separate accounts that he's bringing against her, from ranging all the way from breaches of fiduciary duty to tortious interference with contractual relations. I remember the last time I breached fiduciary duty. It was about 15 minutes ago before I started filming this, and I was on the toilet. 20 minutes before that, I had a tortious interference of my my testicular region in the shower. So we know all of this. We know all of the drama outside of this. The Jax Films thing, showing up to Jack's house. She had like a gun in a purse as well, which is fucking absurd. All the attacking of Azilan, etc. It's a wild, wild world. But out of all of it, I'd say the most important aspects to remember are the court things, because those have extremely real world consequences. Sniper Wolf seems to be safe from all other forms of consequences. She's like Heisenberg, but a woman and a YouTuber and not a meth lord. Well, I don't even know, actually. With the language that Sniper Wolf's lawyers used throughout the document, if you really want to see an in-depth video of this, go to Mad Catster's channel. Once again, he goes line by line. There's a link provided down below. Okay, it's worth a watch, if not just to see the man's cats. Leah is now a part of the Insane Clown Posse, but like in a really bad court way. Was that funny? No, that wasn't. This bitch gotten herself into quite a clown show, especially with the lawyers that she's chosen to represent her in the case against Evan Young, the countersuit or motion to dismiss. For some reason, Aaliyah's lawyers Ben J. Himmelstein and Eric D. Smith decided that the best way to open a motion to dismiss court thing is with a fucking riddle or some randomly generated elementary sentence that a child would just make up. Check this shit out. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Gas lightning! Yeah! Cool. Get some cool music in there, Tara. Tara's been messing around with Fruit Loops and studio and shit. I'm gonna get her to put some music in there. Make sure she does it, editors. You fuckers. My editors sometimes are incredibly lazy. It bothers me a lot. Yeah, so that is the beginning of a motion to dismiss that was electronically published on the 5th of October. What a strange opening statement. The answer is in the conclusion, but 50% of Harvard students get this question wrong. A bat and ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? $1.05. That's what it is. I had to think for a bit, but that's $1.05, right? Because they cost the same and then it's just $1 more. Yeah, $1.05. Suck it. Is that right, though? This is bizarre to have an illegal document. I'm not an expert or a lawyer or any kind of legal genius, but this seems strange. 50% of Harvard students get this answer wrong when they're fucking hot single moms in your local area, to be honest. Now, they have a point to including this in the very beginning of the document, and that is to prevent a knee-jerk reaction. That's their point. It's meant to demonstrate fast thinking in the hopes that the court will really think about their answers and how they respond to this motion to dismiss before rushing and going knee-jerk reaction. $1.10, $1. The instinct is to say $1, but it's not that. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. It seems kind of sassy though. It seems like Leah herself was in on this. Or did Evan write this? Can Leah write? Can she read? Maybe she can. Does he like illustrate like pictures for her to act out stuff and read things? The conclusion in the document gives us an explanation of the Harvard riddle. The answer was 5 cents. The bat costs $1 more than the ball, but the ball costs 5 cents and the bat costs 5 cents for $1.10. Again, the court should avoid fast, intuitive thinking. Instead, this entire complaint should be dismissed and tried into family division because Young does not allege any claims distinct to Channel Web. If the court is inclined to duplicate the family division work, dude, that is so snarky. What the f? Avoid fast, intuitive thinking. Dismiss the case! I am innocent! I am a... This isn't the end, though. This is just the very beginning of this big, fat, stinking turd. On the reply to the motion to dismiss, we get another amazing introduction, this time posted electronically on November 10th, 2023. 1 month, 5 days later. Kind of reminds me of the bat and the ball situation there. If the bat costs $1, if October and November are $1.10 together, then if you spend... New York City is a large city in the United States. The moon revolves around Earth. A chicken has 4 legs. A chicken does not have 4 legs. A chicken has 2 legs and 2 wings. 2 delicious drumsticks. You know, hell yeah, dude. I've been to Wingstop. I've been there. It's delicious. They got another little snarky remark there. This is more philosophy that they're trying to include into this nonsensical rambling that just makes me want to... Obviously, a chicken does not have 4 legs, but it took you a second. Don't confuse Young's repeated statements as truth just because they have some air of familiarity. Most animals have 4 legs, which is why it took you a second. Repetition does not equate to reality. Are they thinking that the court is made up of children? Because that's what it seems like. This is the most just condescending introductions to anything I've ever seen. If I wrote this to like my teacher, I think that I would probably get a fail. Flunk. I'd get flunked if I was this just condescending. It's better to reason and not appeal.
But it took you a second, didn't it? 4 eyes? Ah, yeah! Chicken do not have 2 4-leg, they have a 2-leg.
I got slightly Chinese there at the end. I'd like to formally apologize. It's like the riddle of the day. They are putting riddles in these court documents, and their minds are blown. These people are either on drugs, they're high as or they're just dumb as shit. I don't know which one it is. Probably they're just dumb as shit, because it's easier to prove that. It's like they're forgetting that this is a serious deal, that people's livelihoods are on the line. 2 people that I don't think really anyone cares about, in all honesty, and they're dropping down riddles and shit. Like they're spitting hot beats on the track. in the studio with Kanye, because that shit is whack. This is all whack. Young's remaining arguments do not have weight. Chickens or otherwise, certainly not full of them. What the I cannot believe this is real. What are they doing? You might as well have just used ChatGPT, Aaliyah. You seriously should have used ChatGPT. That would be better off. The best way to say someone has no ground to stand on is to relate it to a chicken. We continue with court should pare down the claims to those that aren't simply rooster games. They have Saul Goodman or Dr. Seuss or who is their fucking lawyer, Mr. Himmelstein? What is going on here? If my lawyer wrote that shit, I would be so afraid. I would be like, okay, well, it looks like I'm going to jail. It looks like I'm going to jail. I would rather use ChatGPT. My lord, man, I'm going to jail. Fuck. This is a literal facepalm all around moment. Maybe the worst opening and closing statements I've ever seen in the court of law, and I've seen a lot ever since Johnny Depp v. Amber Heard. I remember some ridiculous witnesses, something similar to this, but nothing at all like this. Imagine a lawyer reading that shit on TV. God, that'd be funny. So we have this information on the motion to dismiss, and now we can get a little bit of a sneak peek as to how that played out, because the last one was, the reply was filed on the 10th of November, 2023. That has been over a month since then. And if you go to Mad Catster's channel, which I implore you to do, you can see the latest video on Sniper Wolf covers the court's recent ruling on her motion to dismiss. And judging by the title, it doesn't look good for the queen of YouTube. Now, I don't know if somebody got fired, but in the beginning of this document, we see one lawyer, Ben J. Himmelstein, and not Eric. I believe Eric was the genius that sculpted the chicken analogies and the snarky riddles. I think he was a 9-year-old. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he was just really sort of mature for his age. And he had access to ChatGPT, like I was saying. Yeah, so they got rid of him though this time. There's a lone survivor, Benjamin J. Himmelsteins. I don't know why he got fired though. Maybe he couldn't think of any more riddles. Now we announced the motion with a TED Talk style approach and a title seen as gaslighting. Mentioned this earlier. It said in this chunk that this case should be heard by the family division, since these are two people who were once married. The case is not about that anymore. They were divorced, and after the divorce, Leah behaved in a way that was harmful to their joint business. It had nothing to do with their divorce. All right. Her lawyers are trying to sell the idea that though the business was created outside of their marriage and they're actually business partners, it should be treated as a division of marital assets, which seems absurd because they were business partners before they were married people. But the whole marriage thing just doesn't make any sense. And I assume that they're doing this because, generally speaking, you know, well, I shouldn't overgeneralize. I'm not going to generalize. You know what? I'm going to be good. All right, guys. Now, one thing awesome that Mad Catster picked up on in his videos is the fact that even though they're trying to dismiss Evan's lawsuit, they filed a counterclaim which alleged a lot of the same things that Evan alleged. And they're pushing the fact that they want their side to be heard, but not his side.
She's filed a counterclaim, which is basically a countersuit that's a lawsuit within a lawsuit, as I've explained before. She's making some of the same claims, and she's asking for some of the same relief. So why should her claims be heard by the court, but not mine? It doesn't belong in the family court. And so that was his filing. So after the opposition was filed by Evan Young Sausage's team, then Sniper Wolf's team filed what's called a reply. So basically they're rebutting the opposition to the motion to dismiss.
Which is just weird legal bullying nonsense that happens quite frequently. So finally, we have the judge's ruling on the motion to dismiss, which was requested by Sniper Wolf and her epic clown lawyers, Dinky Bigsmall and Eric Cartman. You can see the back and forth between the plaintiff and the defendant. The defendant is Leah. You see the defendant, Leah, filed a motion to dismiss Evan's lawsuit, saying that it should be a family court matter. Plaintiff, aka Evan, responds to the motion to dismiss, saying that her countersuit accuses him of the same things he's accusing her of, and in that fact, it should still be heard. The defendant, Leah, replies in support of her motion, and that's when her lawyers spew the BS about chickens with 4 legs and talk down to everyone and condescend the court. which is awesome. This all has been taken into account, and the court does not believe that an oral argument would be necessary. The court believes that everything they need to finalize all of this is in the documents provided. And to doubly prove this, they restate both sides' claims and perspectives. Defendant alleges that the complaint is a vindictive abuse of process designed to harass and punish her as a part of the party's pending dissolution hearings. She contends that the claims raised in the complaint are either better suited for the family court or fail to state a claim. Plaintiffs, an individual and the company jointly owned by the parties, argue that the claims are appropriately filed in this court, mirror the counterclaims brought by plaintiff in this case, and are probably... Oh, and then we get this beautiful, beautiful ruling. The court finds that while complaint alleges claims that plainly overlap with the family court disputes, they are distinct and relate to contractual obligations and breaches. The direct and derivative claims on behalf of Channel Red are sufficiently pled. At this state, plaintiff's complaint has stated claims for implied covenant, intentional interference with contract and business expectancies, conversion and accounting. To be subject to court-ordered accounting, a defendant must appear to have been entrusted with property of the plaintiff and, in consequence, to have become bound to reveal his dealings with it. They forgot to do a closing parentheses. Dooley v. O'Brien. What the f? The court acknowledged that some of the claims do in fact overlap with family court disputes because of the contractual obligations and alleged breaches. The claims from Evan are sufficiently pled. They're valid. Epic win. Which this means the motion to dismiss from Aaliyah was dismissed. Rip the end. It's over. Bye-bye. How embarrassing. Now, to be fair, that does not actually mean that. Evan has not won or anything like that. There's just a sufficient grounds for the case to proceed. And this cements the fact that the court recognizes there is some merit to Evan's claims. An actual lawyer, Mad Catster, says he believes that following this revelation, Evan and his lawyers will likely file a motion to dismiss the counterclaims that Aaliyah made that were just the same shits that Evan was saying. It's so dumb, dude.
Now, what you'll probably see next is Sausage's team will probably file a motion to dismiss Aaliyah Shalesh's counterclaims against him, and I'll be interested to see what his attorneys argue. But that's a big loss for Sniper Wolf, because now this case will go forward. She'll be forced to litigate it in the Superior Court. She doesn't get to let the family court decide it, which there has to be some reason why she thought that was beneficial to her. So now we get to see what happens and how it plays out and what the facts are and what the court decides.
If Evan's lawyers just avoid nursery rhymes and riddles, I think that they'll probably end up winning this, all right? Plus, they have the support of the public because everyone just doesn't everyone hates Sniper Wolf. It's like kind of sad, but at the same time, it's just, it's deserved. I'm waiting for prom night. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. Is she gonna get torn to shreds by the chess team? I don't know, dude. Nerdy Evan for the win. Also, I really wanted to talk about this. On top of this absurdness in the court, the Girl Gone Gamer, do you remember her? I guess I'll explain it. Among the many examples of Sniper Wolf proving that she is a bad person, one of the oldest examples is of her being terrible to not just another person, but another woman. And on top of that, another creator. A creator named Girl Gone Gamer. Talked about this in an old video, but since all the shit coming out around Sniper Wolf has happened, Girl Gone Gamer has responded. Her oldest nemesis. We've talked about how Sniper Wolf essentially ended the career of Rhea, aka Girl Gone Gamer, by accusing her of faking her gameplay, and then all of Sniper Wolf's fans believing it, and then chasing Rhea off the internet by bullying her, like Shrek style, angry mob, pitchforks, stabbing people and stuff. Even though the complete opposite turned out to be true, and it's actually evidenced by the court thanks to Evan, Sniper Wolf was in fact the one faking her gameplay and lying about it. On Rhea's channel, which has over 750,000 subscribers and now only one video on it, I assume she deleted it. There was some weird stuff she was doing recently. I don't really know exactly what it was, but it's an 11,000 view response to Sniper Wolf. We just know that some content from her channel was deleted. The response is brief. It's only 4 minutes long. She says that it's been about 8 or 9 years since she referred to herself as Girl Gone Gamer. I cannot imagine referring to myself as anything but Oompaville. So that must be hard for her.
Oh, hi. Fancy seeing you here. I gotta say, it has been 8 years, 9 years since I referred to myself as Girl Gone Gamer. 10 years?
She says that about a year ago, she was ready to entirely abandon her channel. Good thing she didn't, or else she wouldn't be able to celebrate the downfall of Sniper Wolf in 2023. She gives a bit of a life update, which is interesting, and then she responds to the old situation, which has been brought up again recently with all the revelations that came out over the summer. Well, it was like a month and a half ago, over the fall.
About a year ago, I was fully ready to say goodbye to this channel, but you guys and me, it's like a toxic relationship. You just keep coming back. No, but to be honest, I have been getting, obviously often I get a lot of comments, GGG, Girl Gone Gamer, bring back Modern Warfare 3 gameplays, and I most of the time ignore them, but I thought that it would be fun to just give a little life update and answer some questions and respond to some things that I have been receiving a lot of messages about. I want to start off by saying that life is great. Life is actually amazing. Bought my first house this year. I started a second channel where I post vlogs, not super often because I'm not good at making content even after all these years. Gabby and I started a podcast that's going really well and we're having a ton of fun.
She's super happy and fulfilled, and then she extends this to her feet, saying she loves them, and then she shows them off, which is awesome. And this is a teaser for a later plug.
I even love my feet now and showing them off. Can you believe it? We've come full circle.
About a minute and a half in, she brings up that the biggest reason for making this video is in regard to the drama that has stirred up. I don't fucking know how to speak. Stirred up over the last couple minutes.
The big fucking witch's pot just, oh my God, this shit is so thick and creamy.
Oh, it's delicious.
God. It's so fucking good, dude.
Girl Gone Gamer then shares a dramatic revelation that she doesn't pay attention or watch enough YouTube to really know exactly what's going on, and that she's happy to have gotten out of that world and wants to keep it that way. Bay's thread-pilled.
The biggest thing that I think I've been getting asked a lot over the past month or two, just like tons of messages and tweets and comments about, is some recent YouTube drama that has come about that I have been asked to comment on because of my history. And really all I have to say, to be completely honest, is I don't pay enough attention to YouTube. I don't watch YouTube to really know what's going on or the details other than kind of like the surface level gist of it. I was actually really happy to get out of this world after just years of terrible comments, like evil, mean shit and harassment and doxing, and that's, at the time, that was just kind of the world.
She then goes on to say that she realized at a certain point she was never going to be able to convince anyone of anything in her own defense. She says that the last thing she would be is a liar, but people wanted her to be the bad guy in the Sniper Wolf thing a long time ago when all the accusations and stuff came out, that they were just willing to believe those accusations without any sort of proof or anything.
I think that I realized that I was never going to be able to convince anyone that I wasn't a liar or a scammer or a bad person or a faker. And I wasn't any of those things. Truly, I was just kind of like an innocent, silly girl trying to navigate YouTube and kind of like the opinions and money and things that come with it. But the last thing that I was a liar. And I just realized that people wanted me to be those things so bad. That when accusations came about, nothing was going to change their mind. They were waiting for those accusations to come out, even with no evidence. And I was never going to be able to convince people otherwise. So I left.
She then says again the same thing she said all along, that she never faked any gameplay, but hopes that people can now see how manipulative and deceptive and selfish those accusations from Sniper Wolf were when they came out. And then she plugs her OnlyFans. Oh yeah, baby, woo, oh yeah. Kind of an obvious route. Her profile picture is her fingering an orange, and her bio is a spicy link, which I think is not even legal. I don't think you can do that on YouTube. You can see the videos she deleted are like weird, sort of scary videos that I didn't understand. It's too much fruit, fingers and stuff. I don't like. We went on the way back. It's scary. Now, there's nothing obviously wrong with I'm just a very timid young man. So why did people think that her gameplays were fake anyways? This guy kind of explains based on the KD in games and how the KD was bad. So they immediately assumed any compilation of her doing well must be fake. I don't really know.
In every single one of these pictures I'm showing you, she has her mic on. And once she has her mic on, doesn't do good at all, guys. She goes 37 and 37. I think she goes. I'm not looking at the screenshots as I'm making this commentary, but if you guys pay attention, she's not doing that great. You know, she's not doing as good as she does in some of her other videos, like 60 and 3 and things like that. Which is why I know this is why she's fake.
It was also because she refused to do a 1v1 with the queen of YouTube at the time. GGG declined the offer and then blocked Sniper Wolf. This made her lose the war because blocking someone means she's faking it, which honestly, probably true. They're probably both faking it. I really don't know. I don't know. I'd fake it though. Every gaming video I've ever uploaded, I never actually, all those times playing Amazing Frog, Feed and Grow Fish, I'm proud to say I never actually played any of that. Never actually. That was all my my cousin Charles. Anyways, on top of GGG, we know the truth now. We know Evan did all of it from the very beginning. It's sad to see that her kind of YouTube career was ruined, but it seems like she's doing fine now. She definitely didn't deserve the threats and doxing she received all those years ago. Sniper Wolf is just the worst. I mean, that's pretty much it. She's a theft. She's a thief. She doxes people. The main thing people all hate now, it seems like, is the fact that she makes terrible videos, which it would be all right. She could make those same videos if she was just a good person, right? If you're just a good guy, if you're just a good person, why you can? I mean, it's fine. Who cares? Who cares, right? It's about being a good person and doing good. But no, she's actually incredibly selfish, and she's ruined people's careers off baseless claims, lied for 10 years on YouTube. She just steals content. She doxes creators who are critical of her. She shows up to their houses. She threatens lawsuits. She's a gigantic, mega big chungus. And now she's trying to ruin her ex-husband's life, even though he basically built up the Sniper Wolf brand single-handedly. Plus the armed robbery and fighting, disorderly conduct, assault, you know, kind of arrests. Those are pretty bad as well. How much longer will Sniper Wolf be the golden girl of YouTube? Hopefully not much.